Hello and welcome back to Cascade. Thanks for joining us. Today we've got a bit of a different video. We're going to be looking at a couple of new decks of cards we got in this week, which are pretty unique and interesting. So I thought it'd be good to just do a video to show those. And we're also going to be having a look in a little simple basic tutorial on how to vanish a card. So we'll get to that after we've had a quick look at the cards. The first deck we've got is the Void playing cards by Four Corner. That's this one here. So these were released on Kickstarter a little while ago. It's taken quite a while to get them because of obviously the situation, factory shutdowns and delays, but we finally got our hands on them this week and they are really cool. So they're produced by Four Corner, which is a UK-based playing card company, started up this year. The person behind that is Scott. Now Scott is a kind of old-time friend of the shop. We met him quite a few years ago and he was like one of the original cardists that we knew. He's been into this a long time and he's really good, so worth checking out. This is the first deck from Four Corner. It is the Void playing cards, and as you can see on the tuck, it is a kind of like geometric pattern but also gives like a fake sense of depth. I think they're really cool. Not really seen too many decks that follow this kind of pattern or look like this. So it's quite interesting and refreshing to see a deck that's like pretty out there and pretty unique. So let's just take a look at a couple of the cards that you get in with this one. So one is the ad card. It's a staircase one, so I think this is like a staircase into a swimming pool. It's one of those ones that kind of gives a sense of depth again, and it reminds me of that artist, I can't remember his name, but the one with the kind of never-ending staircase. You don't really know where it starts or where it ends. So that's a pretty cool one. That's the ad card, the Four Corner ad card. And then we've got the two jokers, pretty clean, pretty simple, just Four Corner. Check those out. Another nice thing that they've done with this deck is they've done custom pips. So check that out. You can see the custom pip, it gives that extra little sense of depth. And I think it's really nice just to see a little touch, a little added uniqueness to the deck. So yeah, totally custom faces as well with those unique pip designs. They came to us in these pretty cool little brick boxes, 6 brick boxes. I don't know if you can still pick these up through Four Corner. I know the Kickstarter's finished. We've got a few decks in the shop that we'll be selling, but I don't know if you can still pick these up. And I don't know, hopefully Scott's going to be doing more designs through Four Corner because these are really nice. And if he follows through with a similar one next time, it's going to be really cool. So that's the Void playing cards. The second deck that we got in this week that's pretty cool is the NPC Invisible Aqua deck. So this is a fully plastic deck, and we don't really have many plastic decks, but this one caught our eyes and we had to get it in. So they're kind of like clear plastic cards, and I don't know if you're going to pick this up. It's quite hard to see, but the design is actually printed in like a transparent finish onto the cards. So you end up with this really cool design, looks almost invisible. The cards themselves, they feel kind of like smooth on one side, and on the other side where they've done the printing, it almost feels like it's embossed. I don't think it is embossed, I think it's just the printing. But yeah, a really nice, cool design. And they handle really well as well. Like, you know, plastic cards is always a bit of a unknown as to how they handle, but these ones, they fan, they spread really well. They don't stick together with that kind of like embossed feeling that you might think you might get. They've got a nice kind of blend of like flexibility and rigidity, and also they've got that added advantage of being waterproof as well because they're plastic, and the tuck's plastic as well. So I've not really come up with some tricks for these yet, but I think there would be loads of possibilities, like similar to the Omni deck. You could maybe do like transposition, so you're turning a deck into this completely transparent clear deck. I think there's lots of possibilities with a bit of thought, a bit of practice. I think you can come up with some really cool tricks for these. So that is the NPC Invisible Aqua deck. I'll give links for both these card decks down below if you want to have a look, check them out and pick one up. But for now, let's get into that tutorial on how to vanish a card. Okay, so this tutorial is a card vanish. It's pretty simple. All you will need is a single playing card, preferably poker size, It must be the ace of spades though, that's really important. It won't work with any other card, just the ace of spades. Or a two of hearts. Or seven of clubs. So, this is what it looks like. It's pretty straightforward. This is kind of like one of the basic manipulations that you'll learn to start with. But it is a fun one. I think it looks pretty cool, and it's a good one just to mess around with. And I've fooled people with this. They still, lots of people don't know about this kind of trick and stuff, and they're wondering where their card's gone. So let's get into the tutorial. So the basics of this is you're holding the card like this with your thumb on the front of it and the rest of your hand behind you, the rest of your fingers behind. Your first and pinky finger are going to curl around, grip the edges of the card, and then you're going to push out and straighten all your fingers. And then the card's going to sit just behind the hand there. So you're starting it here, first finger and pinky over, gripping it, straightening all the fingers behind. It's here. To release it, you're going to let go of the pinky, curl your first finger and middle finger around, and push up with your thumb, and that brings it back. There, boop, and back. So one thing that's going to help is doing a bit of movement with your hand. If you're doing it straight up, you either have to do it really fast and really clean, or your spectator's going to spot it. But if you do it with a bit of movement, it's a lot harder to spot. The movement kind of distracts from the fact that the card's disappearing. So a lot of people do a 3, so they go 1, get the first finger and the pinky ready, 2, curl them around, give it a bit of grip, and then on the third one, you're going to disappear it. So it's 1, 2, 3. And then to bring it back, again, wave, release at the top. As you're bringing it down, you're pushing it around and bring it around to show it again. There's a couple of things that you're going to have to bear in mind with this one. One of them is angles. So the best angle is to have your palm facing your spectator. You do have a bit of wiggle room with the without flashing it, but obviously you're not going to be able to perform it with people standing kind of like around you. You need them to be standing pretty much in front of you as you face them side on. The other thing is the grip of it. So when you first learn this one, you might find that you are gripping the card so the corners are poking through your hand here. That's fine when you're just learning, because you're just basically getting to grips first and you're learning how to do it, learning the technique. But as you practice more and more, what you want to do is you want to get a slightly looser grip on the card, a slightly finer grip, so you're gripping it less of the card, and that way you'll have less of the card sticking through your hand here. That makes it a lot less visible to your spectators. If they can see a little bit of card poking through, they're obviously going to know what's going on. But if you can manage to get it so there's not really any card showing, it's completely vanished. The other one is bringing it back. I don't think you really want to be doing the vanish and then holding out on this one for a long time. The longer you hold out on it, the longer someone's got to work out where it's gone. But if you do this one quite quickly, if you just make it vanish and then bring it back within a couple of seconds, before they've had time to think about it, the trick's already done and you can move on to the next thing, and they're just like confused about what's happened, which I think is the best way to do it. So that's pretty much it. As I say, a bit of movement will help. Practicing it can be a little bit tricky to get the card to come back. You might find that's where you're dropping to start with, but it is just a matter of practice. Just keep practicing that and eventually you'll be able to get it without dropping. So that's pretty much it. Keep practicing. If you've got any questions, just leave them down below and I'll try and answer them. But yeah, that's it. So hopefully you found that pretty basic, pretty informative and pretty useful. As I said, just stick at it. It's not a particularly tricky one. Kind of 5 minutes practice here and there. It's a good one to mess around with, fidget, if you're just got a bit of time and you like to just keep your hands busy. It's a fun one though to throw out. You can fool people with it. Some people still don't know about it. And also just a fun one to throw into routine or at the start of a trick or something like that. If you've got any questions, just leave them in the comments below. Why not subscribe to the channel? Subscribe to the channel and give this video a like. For more videos, we'll do more tutorials on a total range of subjects, show you some new products and stuff, and we've got some cool interviews and stuff coming up as well, so worth doing that. That's pretty much it for today. Hopefully see you in the next one. Why are you still here? Bye. Go. Hey.